Guns in schools, as controversial as ever across the state of Florida.
High school football coaches are underpaid and overworked.
E-scooters are making it easier for pedestrians to get around, but residents are concerned. We're covering this and more Beyond the Bay.
Good afternoon. Thank you for joining us Beyond the Bay. I'm Amanda Gonzalez.
And I'm Emily Hernandez. Here are some of the stories we are following right now. Gun control is a hot topic across the country. A new bill in the Florida legislature has fueled the debate on whether teachers should be armed on campus. Amber Diaz has the latest on this controversial bill.
Florida Senate has passed a bill that would allow teachers to be armed on school grounds. The new bill is an extension of the Coach Aaron Fies Guardian program, named in memory of Fies, who died protecting his students during the Parkland shooting. After Parkland, Florida officials have felt public pressure to put an end to these reoccurring tragedies. This program now allows teachers to carry guns on campus, sparking controversy throughout the state.
The teacher shouldn't have to worry about having to shoot somebody. You're already responsible for your 20 kids or your 18, depending on what you have in the classroom, on top of it to carry a gun.
State Representative Daniel Perez, who voted in favor of this extension, says it will make for a safer school environment.
This bill allows the opportunity for those rural districts to make their decision and allow individuals that want to voluntarily go through the stringent training to protect their schools the ability to do so.
However, opponents of the bill express concerns. Among those are students who fear the dangers of guns in classrooms.
I've seen teachers and students get into arguments, and it gets escalated sometimes. So if there's a firearm there, there's a possibility a student could grab that.
If a school district approves of having their teachers armed, those interested must first volunteer, go through a background check, and a psychiatric evaluation. Once approved, they are required to attend a gun safety training with the sheriff's office. Experts are wondering if this is enough for teachers to be comfortable around weapons on school grounds.
Carrying a firearm is a very specific tool, and it's a very specific mindset. So if you carry a firearm, you have to be ready to use that tool every day.
Throughout the country, 14 states already have armed teachers in at least one school district, and 16 states allow their local school boards to make the decision to arm. According to the Associated Press, since 2014, there have been more than 30 reported mishaps on school grounds caused by armed teachers or law enforcement officers across the nation. Some school districts have come forward and said they will not be arming their teachers with guns, such as Miami-Dade and Broward County, while other districts have said they will be moving forward with the bill because they feel this can prevent further incidents, such as mass shootings. For Beyond the Bay, I'm Amber Diaz.
Another issue that concerns our community is the lack of affordable housing. There are more than 4,000 people living in Miami-Dade County that do not have a home. Adrialis Gutierrez has more on the issue affecting South Florida.
Miami-Dade County is growing rapidly. According to the most recent census data, Miami-Dade County is the largest county in Florida with a growth rate of nearly 1% in the past year. Due to this increase, the cost of living in Miami-Dade continues to rise, leading to an escalation in homelessness.
Lack of affordable housing is definitely pushing a lot of people into homelessness.
A letter from Florida Council of Homeless to former Governor Rick Scott states, however, homelessness by a broader definition, including those couch surfing with family friends, living in motels, etc., among school children and their families, continues to increase. This is due primarily to the lack of housing affordable to low-wage earning families. Fidel Guzman has been one of the thousands that has been affected by homelessness in Miami-Dade.
I can go to sleep in my brother's house that is here, but it's far. I have to take the train, so then I stay in a place where they are doing construction, and that's where I sleep.
In the past 2 years, the number of unsheltered homeless continues to rise by 2%. But the Homeless Trust, an organization founded by Miami-Dade County, is partnering with other organizations and offering programs to ensure that the homeless become shelter.
Today, when you go home and you put your head on your pillow tonight, you can take comfort in that there's still just about 1,009 still on our streets and about 2,300, 2,400 that are sheltered homeless, but means they're off the streets and in shelter.
If this issue is not addressed, it could lead to an increase in the number of unsheltered homeless in Miami-Dade. This is Adrialis Gutierrez for Beyond the Bay.
Over 6 million animals are brought to a shelter each year. Shelters today face the challenge of not only finding loving homes for the animals, but also the right pets for families. We've all been there. You're watching TV and all of a sudden Sarah McLachlan's voice is serenading you with In the Arms of an Angel. And before you know it, heart-wrenching images of cats and dogs in cages fill the screen. We all know we should help save animals in need, but why? According to the Humane Society, adopting pets not only provides a sense of purpose and fulfillment to families, but helps give animals a chance at a better life. A study by the American Humane found that 1 in 10 pets were no longer in the home 6 months after adoption, mostly because of behavior and personality issues. The Humane Society is working to change this by using a color-coding system that links the personalities of the pets to their potential owners. These signs are placed throughout the facility to make it easier for families to go home with the right pet.
We encourage the family to come through the whole process. So if you have children, significant others, even if you already have a dog or cat, well, cats are hard, but if you have a dog, you bring them in and meet your new family member.
Erin Chapman has fostered pets for over 10 years, rescuing some kittens so small that their ears haven't even formed yet.
These animals need love just like the pure breeds do. And, whether it's a dog or a cat, they need good, loving homes.
Connecting the right pet with the right family will be the best way to reduce the amount of pets in shelters and lead to happier families.
In light of recent tragedies surrounding popular ride-sharing services, Atsiri Santiago gives us tips on how to stay safe.
Today, we're talking safety, especially when it pertains to using Uber, Lyft, or any other car service. That being said, we've heard several Uber and Lyft horror stories, sadly, some more tragic than others. In recent months, we've heard several cases of people getting robbed or even killed. Now, we know these services might be convenient, but here are a few tips on how to stay safe when using them to avoid a tragedy. Number 1, when requesting these car services, make sure to verify that the license plate number matches the one on the app. Number 2, have the driver confirm your name. The app lets you know who your driver is and also lets the driver know who you are. Lastly, make sure to share your trip progress details with a loved one. You can do this by going on the app settings, select Follow My Ride, and choose a contact. Make sure to follow these safety tips when requesting your next ride.
Thanks, Asiri.
We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back.
Ever craved adventure? Then put away your books, get outside, and jump into a kayak. The expert staff at BBC will lead you on a journey into the mangrove trails of Oneida State Park, the Biscayne Bay Sandbar, or the tropical beach known as Sandspur Island. And as if this adventure weren't thrilling enough, head out after the sun goes down for kayaking at night. To book your adventure, all you have to do is visit active.com and search FIU Kayaking.
Welcome back, Beyond the Bay. Now let's switch our focus to health news.
Protecting yourself and those around you is definitely a priority, but oftentimes people deliberately choose not to protect themselves against certain diseases such as measles. The Florida Department of Health warns residents about preventable diseases that are currently making their way back into our community. Measles was thought to have been eliminated almost 20 years ago in the United States. But there have been over 900 confirmed measles cases in the United States in 2019 alone. The CDC reports it is the greatest number of cases in the last decade. And oftentimes, people don't realize they have measles. In order to prevent the spread of the virus, one should receive the measles, mumps, and rubella vaccine.
So the most important thing is to get vaccinated against measles. Kids should be vaccinated. It's a 2-vaccine series, one at age 1 and then a booster shot at age 4.
Measles is highly contagious because it is spread through particles in the air. And even though some parents are hesitant about vaccinating their child, others rather be safe than sorry.
I actually do think it is very irresponsible to not vaccinate your kids.
The Florida Department of Health and medical professionals urge residents to receive the adequate immunization because measles can happen to anyone at any age. School's out and summer's finally here. It's time to soak up the sun. But how are you protecting your skin from the sun's harmful rays? Nikita Grant has more.
South Florida is heating up with summer around the corner, and everyone, no matter the complexion, could use some protection from the sun. According to the National Cancer Institute, melanoma, the most serious version of skin cancer, is expected to kill more than 7,200 Americans this year. Whether it be going on an early morning jog, riding a bike, or playing outdoors, we all need protection from the sun. Tip number 1, wear sunscreen. Statistics show people who use a sunscreen with an SPF of 15 or higher daily show 24% less skin aging than those who don't. So, make sure to add an SPF into your skin routine. And for those makeup lovers, you can find SPF foundations and BB creams to stay safe and fabulous. Tip number 2, sunglasses. To protect your eyes from harmful solar radiation, wear sunglasses that block 100% UV whenever you're outdoors in the daylight. Protect your eyes and look stylish too. Tip number 3, make sure to wear a hat. A broad-brimmed hat can block more than 50% of UV radiation to the eyes. Make sure to keep these tips in mind the next time you step out.
Thanks, Nikita. Those tips are definitely useful during this time of year.
We'll be back after this break.
Here at the Southern Wine and Spirits Beverage Management Center at BBC, we invite you to come taste and learn about unique wines from around the world. Studying with the top wine experts is right here in your own backyard.
I encourage anybody to take this class who just wants to learn about not only the world and different locations, but also themselves.
From a top-of-the-line kitchen to a state-of-the-art wine cellar, gain an enriched knowledge of all things food and wine. Enroll in one of the 7 classes provided by the Chaplin School of Hospitality next semester and study with the experts.
Welcome back Beyond the Bay. High school football coaches are instrumental in the success of their team on and off the field. However, many coaches are underpaid for their efforts. Mayor Grunberg is in the huddle.
A coach's dedication is never questioned. However, their salaries in Miami-Dade are a different story.
Building a relationship, just like anything in life, is the key to any successful venture or opportunity. Building a relationship here is different from building a relationship with teachers or anybody in the building. You know, this is a brotherhood, it's a fraternity of its own, and you know the relationships really do last forever.
Coaches in Miami-Dade earn an average of $48,000 a year. In Broward, they earn between $60,000 and $80,000. In Alabama, Georgia, and Texas, they respectively earn an average of over $124,000 a year. Evidently, there is a bond that develops at this stage of a player's career that plays a massive role in defining the rest of their playing career.
Me and Coach Drake's relationship is like a father and son relationship. He pick me up every morning. I call him at night. He'll pick up, answer any questions I ask him, and he's like family to me.
Football coaches in Miami-Dade high school programs put in equal, if not more, effort into developing both the character and skill of their players. Meanwhile, a majority of the NFL players come from the state of Florida, more than any other state.
If you do the math, what we're compensated is pennies on the dollar. If it wasn't for my teaching salary, I could not live solely off of my coaching supplement.
I feel like our coaching staff should be getting paid more because the hard work they put in can go over plays. And then they have a 8-hour shift in school, teaching kids, doing all this. And then after school, we got practice for at least 3 to 4 hours, and they put in blood, sweat, tears.
Hundreds of coaches like Coach Rick in Miami are handily underpaid for all of their efforts. Perhaps with time, the tide will begin to change. For Beyond the Bay, I'm Mayor Grunberg.
As Miami continues its efforts to become more environmentally friendly, electric scooters have become increasingly popular. Kirsten Vallejo gives us more insight on the risks and benefits of this trend.
Miami resident Paula Puello has been using electric scooters as a form of transportation to go to work since their recent reintroduction in several South Florida neighborhoods.
They're very convenient to use them for work and to go home.
specifically for things like that.
In Brickell, some residents have complained about inexperienced riders being a hazard to pedestrians by crowding the sidewalks and venturing out into roadways.
Not only are the riders going to be in trouble for like hurting themselves, but also the pedestrians can get hit by a scooter rider.
As the usage of electric scooters in South Florida keeps rising, there have been several reported injuries involving riders and even a fatal incident. Local 10 reported a man riding an e-scooter last month collided into a car in Fort Lauderdale. According to an investigation by Consumer Reports, there were over 1,500 accidents involving electric scooters in the U.S. last year. Some residents claim that the government should provide better safety measures and enforce user regulations.
If people request the use of helmets for driving motorcycles or bicycles, why not for scooters? So that's something that we should think about it.
E-scooters are becoming popular worldwide due to its convenience, promotion of outdoor activity, and its positive impact on the environment. According to the Lime app, every mile traveled mitigates roughly 350 grams of carbon.
I'm really happy we finally have them in Miami so that everybody can get in the same eco-friendly, being efficient, traveling from one place to the other in such a populated city like Miami.
If you decide to use this innovative form of transportation, don't forget to use a helmet and look into the safety measures first. For Beyond the Bay, I'm Kristen Vallejo.
Musicians today face serious competition in the industry. Antonio Aviles shares some tips to help aspiring musicians face the odds.
With many people joining the music scene in Miami today, it can get quite overwhelming for artists to keep track of the steps they need to reach their end goal. In recent years, SoundCloud rappers, Spotify artists, and local bands have increased in popularity across all social media platforms. Karen Fuller, from the FIU School of Music, has been in the music industry for over 20 years.
You need to understand that process. So you need to understand what the copyright tribunal is. You need to understand that there is monetization to being a musician or being a performer or being an actor. And you don't just make it, right? You have to work at making it.
When it comes to making it in the music industry today, there's no denying that the artist image is important. So much so that Latin artist Bad Bunny recently received the Billboard Award for Social Media Artist of the Year. Michelle George has worked with artists like Zion, Florence and the Machine, and Jessie J.
For more independent artists who don't have a label behind them or don't have a management team behind them, we're in a really great period of time with social media that you can actually do a ton of the footwork by yourself. And actually you have to have that footwork almost done already before you do get representation.
For musicians, of course, it's not all about knowing artist rights or having a great image all the time. Stu Sauce, a member of the band Zodek Yayo, shares how he overcomes the rough stages that making it comes with.
Every day I go to work, it brings me down because we all as musicians want to make this our day job. And so the day job does bring us down. We want to get out of that. That's why we're doing this. However, what keeps us moving or keeps me going is the people in the project who want to back us up, who can back us up, who make us realize that what we're doing has a purpose. There is something to see in the project to make us move forward.
While some artists join the music scene for the trend and engagement, there are still artists today like Rangel who have a story behind their career.
A moment where I felt very low in my life was when I arrived from Cuba and had to leave my mom behind. I practically fell into a depressive state of mind, where I became very sentimental and started to write songs. Music basically helped me withstand the pain and help with the nostalgia I felt.
In the end, we come to find out that the top principles to making it in the music industry derive from great entrepreneurship, quality production, image and personality, as well as a little bit of patience with great work ethic. This has been Antonio Aviles for Beyond the Bay.
Thank you, Antonio. That's something to consider before jumping into the field.
And that's all we have for today. Feel free to check out our website for web-exclusive content.
Thanks for watching. See you next time, Beyond the Bay.